they wrote.
Where's he going, Manhattan?
But that's a prescription, right?
All right, good evening, everyone. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Here.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Here.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Here.
Councilman Marcocha?
Here.
Supervisor Colavita?
Here. Good evening. We have our public hearing as our next matter on the agenda, and it's a public hearing to consider the adoption of a local law providing for the amendment of local law number 2 of 2005 and 3 of the year 2000, and all its amendments thereafter known as the Vehicle and Traffic Code of the Town of Eastchester, which pertains to the removal and storage of vehicles and storage charges within the Town of Eastchester. Someone care to make a motion to open a public hearing?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll to opening public hearing.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Is anyone here to talk on this matter? All right, there being none, someone care to make a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll on closing the public hearing.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Any comment from the board?
None.
Oh, someone care to make a motion to adopt a local law? All
So moved.
right, I'll second same. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Okay, next we have the opportunity to address the board on a specific agenda item. Moving forward, we have approval of the minutes of the March 18th, 2025 Town Board meeting. Any proposed amendments or modifications?
None.
There being none, someone care to make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
So second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, we have the reports of departments, boards, and commissions. Our Police Department report, Chief Rodriguez. We will also receive your written report for March 2025. Anything further?
Yes, good evening, Supervisor Colavita, members of the Town Board. I just want to thank you for addressing that, the local law issue there regarding towing. As you know, we haven't updated our fees and whatnot in 2 decades, give or take. So it allows us to be more competitive with our tow companies in town and, be more responsive. Last week, we finished up our accreditation assessment. We're hoping to hear from the state soon, but by all indications, we did very well. The examiners were very happy, and I just want to recognize Lieutenant Castellano and Sergeant Pena, who really put a lot of work into making sure the accreditation went smoothly. We get assessed every 5 years, and that's, examiners coming down from the state just pretty much making sure we're meeting the standard, we're doing exactly what we're saying we're doing, and we're keeping our policies up, to what the latest in law enforcement policy. Over the next week, a couple weeks, we're going to be taking part in aggressive driving enforcement. So if you see extra officers out there, it's a statewide initiative targeting mostly cell phones, aggressive driving, stop signs, passing school buses. So we'll be out there. And lastly, Pasta Night again. The PBA is hosting the Michael Frey Memorial Scholarship Pasta Night. It's going to be April 26th. There is a venue change because the venue wasn't available this year due to construction. So make sure to contact the PBA at eastchesterpba@gmail.com, or you can call the police department and ask for any of the PBA members.
Also, May 10th at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, I'm not sure, I think 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock.
Is the Eastchester Police Memorial Service as well.
Yes, thank you. I was going to mention that the next meeting, that is true. And before that, for those interested, is the Tuckahoe Police Memorial Service. We do them on the same day, honoring officers from both departments.
All right. Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, at this point, want to move to items 8B and 8C. That's our capital budget project list, and from this approved list comes our funding and, of course, our bidding, which we'll do later in the meeting. So with regard to item 8B, it's a memorandum from the Controller regarding the 2025 capital budget request, and what we have are the following. Excuse me, in the townwide area, we have the Parkway Oval playground and fence at $140,000. The Labriola Playground Surface at $60,000. The Cooper Field Playground at $150,000. And what we're doing at Cooper Field is we're going to continue the northerly side, northerly wall of the playground straight across, because presently it dips toward Webster. Going to go right across, and that'll give us a little more space, but not impede or have a problem with the ball field. And we'll put, continue the wall and put like another big, large climbing apparatus and perhaps a new swing over there. The Chester Heights Playground, $35,000, and that's for swing sets. That was requested by all the neighbors that utilized that park. And also $25,000 for playground mulch, which, pretty much goes in all the parks and for a lot of the trees, too. Tree beds and planting beds. In the highway department, we have a Packer truck with a plow at $325,000, a dump truck at $250,000, street resurfacing at $1.1 million, and sidewalk and curb replacement at $250,000. And, fortunately, petroleum-based products are going down, so by the time we go to bid on this, hopefully they'll be down a little more, but, you never know with this stuff. So we're going to try and do an aggressive street resurfacing platform if we can. Anyway, all of that totals $2,335,000, and I would need a motion to approve the 2025 capital projects as requested and authorize the bonding of such projects.
So moved.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, we have item 8C, which is a memorandum from the Controller regarding the 2025 Lake Isle capital projects requests. And what we're doing here at Lake Isle is the following. The cart paths. And if you are a golfer at Lake Isle, you know that incrementally we have been improving all of the cart paths and the sand, the bunkers. Not supposed to call them sand traps, let's call them bunkers. So the bunkers have been improved along with the irrigation system and a lot of other aesthetic beautification there. But the cart paths numbers 1, 6, 10, 13, and 16 will be improved. That's a total of $44,125. Also, we have an aggressive tree removal program on the golf course. That's at $50,000, and that's not just the golf course, it's also along the grounds. But we got to be very careful with trees where people play, because we all read articles in the paper. There's an article in the Post today, as a matter of fact, about someone got killed, a man and his son were killed while they were walking in some area, and a tree limb fell on them. Also, we have a leak issue over the locker room and the offices. These are rooftop repairs for $250,000. The building has not been paid a ton of attention. There's a lot of breaches on the roof from air conditioning units, from venting, from pipes, from all kinds of different apparatus. So it's time to pay attention to that specific area. That total is $344,125. Now, I would also mention that these numbers and for this Lake Isle capital projects and the prior list are also estimates. We generally don't go that far, we don't use up all that money. If we need to, we can always do more, but generally speaking, it's a little bit long, and sometimes we're right on the money, but sometimes we'll go a little bit long to make sure that we're, have enough to pay the bill. Anyway, so someone care to make a motion on the 2025 Lake Isle capital projects as I've delineated?
So moved.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Okay, now, Mr. Rader, you can proceed with the Law Department agenda.
Thank you, Supervisor. Good evening. First, I have a resolution authorizing a settlement of a claim by Anthony Sarasi against the town of Eastchester in the amount of $5,333.50 for damages sustained to Mr. Sarasi's vehicle by a town vehicle on March 21st, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye.
Okay, next, a resolution authorizing the issuance of $410,000 of bonds of the town of Eastchester, Westchester County, New York, to finance the cost of various park improvements and renovations within the town of Eastchester.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye.
The next resolution authorizing the issuance of $575,000 of bonds of the town of Eastchester, Westchester County, New York, to finance the cost of the acquisition of various trucks for the Highway Department.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye.
Okay, next, resolution authorizing the issuance of $1,100,000 of bonds of the town of Eastchester, Westchester, New York, to finance the cost of street resurfacing within the town of Eastchester.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye.
Okay, next, resolution authorizing the issuance of $250,000 of bonds of the town of Eastchester, Westchester County, New York, to finance the cost for the sidewalk and curb reconstruction within the town of Eastchester.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye.
Okay, and last, I have a resolution authorizing the issuance of $344,125 of bonds of the town of Eastchester, Westchester, New York, to finance the cost of the Lake Isle Country Club improvements within the town of Eastchester.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. I think it bears mentioning again that the town of Eastchester has a AAA Moody's rating, which is the highest rating a municipal government can get. We have outstanding debt ratios, so we are in very good shape financially. So we anticipate that the bonding we've just approved will come in at a very handsome rate for the taxpayers of Eastchester, thank heavens. So it pays to watch your dollars. Anyway, moving forward, we have the Receiver of Taxes report for March of 2025. We can receive and file that. That brings us over to correspondence. I have a memorandum from the Controller on personnel appointments, and these are predominantly for recreation in Lake Isle as we gear up for summer camp and the whole Lake Isle scene. Someone care to make a motion on them?
So moved.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. That brings us to 8D, which is a memorandum from the Controller regarding the closure of capital projects. And on these, we have a series of approximately 8 or 9 capital projects. We had a field and park renovation in 2013 with 30 cents left over, a handle field renovation of $43.84, a Packer truck, $1,742.44, various improvements in 2022, $1,568.10, and we're going to just basically zero out our townwide 2023, street resurfacing 23, sidewalks and curbs 23, and Lake Isle renovations in 2023, for a total unexpended sum of $3,354.68, which goes to the debt service. So someone can make a motion to basically approve the conclusion of these capital projects and transfer the unused portion of each to the reserve for debt.
So moved.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, I have a memorandum from the Superintendent of Recreation regarding the award of the 2025 bus service bid contract, and Ms. Veltiti is asking that we approve the award to Royal Coach Lines, Inc. of Nepperhan Ave and Yonkers for the school buses in the amount of $100,855. Someone care to make a motion on that?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Markocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next, we have a memo from the Superintendent of Recreation regarding awarding of the ground maintenance contract, and the ground maintenance contract is to be awarded to the lowest bidder, Acasella Contracting of Gaylor Road in Eastchester, for $105,930 for the base and options A and B. And just so you know, probably 10, 12 years ago, maybe a little longer, we privatized the cutting of grass and maintenance of parks, and we found it to be extraordinarily, a great savings for the town of Eastchester, as farming it out, privatizing that, saved a ton of staff and also benefits, of course. So we made out pretty well, and they do a very good job. And the Acasellas have done this work on many a year, and they do wonderful work, make the place look beautiful. Anyway, with that said, I'll make the motion for the award of the lowest bid to Acasella and ask for a second, please.
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next is a memorandum from the Superintendent of Highways regarding the engineering services to update the current MS4 program and stormwater management plan, that's SMP, to meet the new New York State DEC permit requirements. And just so we're clear, probably 25 years ago, maybe longer, when I was on the town board as a council member, the state came in and said, we want to have all of your stormwater and all of your sewer lines all mapped out and located on various maps and all. And we want to make sure that everyone in your highway department is trained on how to use things and how to go about cleaning these devices and all, and you have to pay for it all. So it's been a bit of an unfunded mandate from Albany, but nonetheless important. And our obligation here is no more than $7,500. And what we have done is we have joined in with Dolph Raffeld Engineering, and we have a little consortium in Lower Westchester to split the cost up amongst all of the municipalities that go through this. So it became, a better deal for us, pound for pound. Anyway, with that being said, I would make the motion to accept the AI engineer's proposal at the hourly rates provided in the MS4 program, and to approve the New York State DEC MS4 permit, and also of course, the what do you call, the other function, the SMP plan. Someone care to make a motion? Or I'll make the motion, excuse me. I need a second.
Second.
All right. Got that, Joe?
Got it.
Thank you very much. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next is a memorandum from the Superintendent of Highways with asking for permission to go to bid to the 2025 street resurfacing projects, and I think it'd be a good idea to do that now. And would someone care to make a motion to authorize them to go out to bid?
So moved.
All right, please, I'll second that. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next is a memorandum from the Superintendent of Highways regarding permission to go to bid for the 2025 sidewalk and curb replacement project. Someone care to make a motion?
So moved.
Second. All right, thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Next is a memorandum from the Superintendent of Highways regarding approval to extend the current municipal snow and ice agreement with the New York State DOT through 2029. And as people may be aware, New York State owns White Plains Road, and obviously they're not going to pave it all the time, or for that matter, plow it. So we agree to do that for them, and they reimburse us. So what the state is asking us to do is to continue our agreement to plow White Plains Road, and they will reimburse us for the estimated expenditure of $29,684.83. And it's also worthy to note that when it does snow often, we petition them to get additional reimbursement if there's a particularly large snowfall, or if it snows repeatedly for a few days, and they are always able to forward us some additional funds. So anyway, this would be a resolution authorizing the supervisor to enter into the agreement to extend the current municipal snow and ice agreement with the DOT through June 30th, 2029. Someone care to make a motion?
So moved?
Second.
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. Lastly, we have a memorandum from the Superintendent of Highways regarding the proclamation of Arbor Day. And each year, we submit an application and we qualify and obtain membership as a Tree City USA. And we will declare Friday, April 25th, 2025, as Arbor Day within the town of Eastchester. And there's always a ceremony down at the bottom of Highland Avenue where it meets California Road. And the scouts are there, and they're planting, dozens of saplings, and the trees that have grown there over the years, we pull out, we harvest them, we put them all over the town. So we thank the Scouts for that effort, and of course, you know, we're very serious about our tree planting in town, and I could see us very much stepping up the volume of trees planted in the town. You know, what happens is a tree will go down in a neighborhood, and there'll be a giant open space, and it makes such a dramatic change in the appearance of the neighborhood and the value of people's homes. So I think what we need to do is become more aggressive with regard to planting. So if you'd like a tree put in your in front of your home or in the side of your home, if you live on a corner, please contact the highway department or call my office, and we'll get out, you know, a nice maple or, you know, a spruce or, you know, a pine or whatever you think would be appropriate for that location, so that we can keep the place beautified, keep everything shady, keep all the benefits that trees give us rolling forward, and of course maintain property value as we are inclined to do. Anyway, with that being said, would someone care to make a motion to declare Friday the 25th as Arbor Day within the town?
So moved.
Second?
All right, please call the roll.
Councilman Giacobbe?
Aye.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Marcocha?
Aye.
Supervisor Colavita?
Aye. There being no miscellaneous business, we'll move over to council member reports. Councilman Marcocha?
Thank you, Supervisor. Just on the capital budget, I do want to thank Controller Dawn Donovan for assisting the entire town board in this process. There are a lot of meetings and work that go into determining what is critical, what is a critical improvement, and the cost benefit of that improvement. And I think, you know, we did an okay job with that. 4 of our parks are going to be renovated. Our roads are going to be paved, sidewalks improved, and our highway department's getting some needed equipment as well. So I just wanted to thank her and this board for putting all the time in to kind of go through that and make sure we sharpen our pencil there. I also wanted to announce that some news on Lake Isle. It's the start of an exciting time of the year at Lake Isle. Golf opened on Friday, March 28th, and both the pool season and the outdoor tennis season begin at the end of next month. The weather will improve by next week, so get ready and join now. The registration discount for resident, family, individual, and junior pool memberships are available through the end of this month, Wednesday, April 30th. The membership office hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekends. And just a reminder, you can go online and register to join as well. And then finally, the next advisory board meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday, April 9th at 7 p.m. in the community center at Lake Isle. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Nicholson.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. I have 2 announcements. April is declared the Military Service Month, and there is a local drive going on for new clothes for the military families from infant to teens, and there are 2 drop-off areas, Eastchester Public Library and here at Town Hall. Again, this is for new clothes for infants to teens, and the end date is April, I believe, 28th, and there will be a final at the American Legion Hall, Leroy Gregory, at the end of the month to conclude the drive. Also, on your calendar, if you can mark May 8th, we have the candlelight vigil here at Eastchester Town Hall, held by the Eastchester Care Coalition, and the kickoff time is 7 p.m. That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Marcotte.
Thank you, Supervisor. I have just a few Bronxville announcements. April is also Earth Month, and in recognition of that, the Bronxville Green Committee is taking on a new initiative. It's called Waste Free Bronxville, and what this does, it's going to challenge residents to make more sustainable choices when they're either recycling or encouraging them to upcycle or repurpose. And things of that nature. And in an effort to encourage you to do that, they're going to be publishing articles every week in the, I guess, the Hometown Bronxville newspaper, which is an online edition. So if you're interested, you can always read those articles and help them out. It's a great initiative. Also, the High School Earth Club is going to be sponsoring a battery drive from now till the 30th, and you can drop off any old or used or spent batteries at the Bronxville Elementary, I think the foyer area, and Village Hall foyer area. They just ask that you cover, I think what they call the lithium channel, with some clear tape before dropping them off. And then lastly, the Chamber of Commerce in Bronxville is hosting their annual Easter egg hunt, and that's going to be on April 12th from 11 to 1, and that's going to take place on Pondville Road alongside Silk Road and Citibank. And that concludes my report, Supervisor.
Thank you. Councilman Giacobbe.
Thank you, Supervisor. First, I want to say thank you to everybody that attended our Leawood Park opening last weekend on Saturday. It was beautiful weather, attended by probably close to 1,000 people. Followed by on Monday, schools were off, and it was great seeing all the students there enjoying the park for the first time all day. To piggyback off that, our Recreation Department will be holding their first program there starting at the end of April. So on Saturday, April 11th at 9 a.m., registration will open for both tennis and pickleball lessons for children to adults. You can go to eastchester.gov to our recreation section to see more information. Make sure your account is up to date and you can log on, because we expect these spots to fill up fast. And these lessons will start at the end of April and conclude at the end of May. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. My own report, the Grim Reaper sent me a memorandum, that's the receiver of taxes, that the tax office will be open late on Wednesday, April 30th. It'll start at 8 o'clock and will close at 7 p.m. So your town tax bill is due no later than April 30th. Also, the town tax bill is your sewer tax, your water tax, your town tax, but your county tax and your fire district tax. It's all wrapped into one bill that we collect, and then we send it out to all the entities that we collect for. And please be reminded that, when you're sending it in by mail, it has to be postmarked before this. And Pitney Bowes or HP machines from your office doesn't qualify as United States Postal Service mail mark. So it has to be regular U.S. mail. We've had a couple issues in the past with that. You can always bring your payment in, in person before 7 p.m. that day. Anyway, I'd also want to thank everybody for their efforts with regard to Leawood Park. It was a great day, a lot of fun, beautiful weather. It was 75 degrees. Everyone had a nice time. And we had some good food trucks there and a lot of people running around just enjoying the facility, which is what it's all about. Anyway, so that brings us to the second opportunity to address the board. Anyone? Yes. Just give us your name and address, please. Thank you.
Yep.
Right there, yep.
Liz Viguero, 1 Wendover Road. So I come to you as a concerned citizen, but more importantly, as a concerned parent. Eastchester Tobacco has got to go. They are selling things, whether they're legal or illegal. I'm not going to get into that because that's not my jurisdiction. However, I come to you as a concerned parent because they are selling to minors. I know this for a fact. The police have been notified. I am not the first one that complains about this. They have many complaints about this, and it's very, very concerning. We are a small town. We are a great town. It breaks my heart to see this in our town. This can't happen. We have to figure out a way, and I know that they've been shut down before, but they weren't shut down long enough. They've got to go. It's not just tobacco. It's not just e-cigarettes. It's not just paraphernalia that they're selling. They are selling something that is detrimental to our children. And we have to fix this. We can't allow this to happen in our town. We don't allow a Subway. We don't allow a McDonald's. We don't allow a Burger King because we know that that's not best for health, especially for our children. We can't allow them to destroy our town. So I'm praying and I'm hoping that you guys will help me in this endeavor to get them gone. I have to get them out of here. I have personal experience and it has ruined some lives, and I don't want it to ruin more lives. So I'm hoping that you guys will help me in getting them out of this town. And whatever I have to do, you guys are amazing, which is why I'm here, because I'm looking for your help as a resident, as a mom, and I'm hoping that you will help me. And anything I can do to help, I've put in a complaint literally every other day to the state, because I know that some of it is out of your jurisdiction, but I've gone on the website every other day, because what they're selling is not good for anybody, but especially for minors. It's mind-altering. It's going to ruin lives. So I will go on every day if I have to make a complaint, but I'm hoping that you guys can help me.
Yeah, we're certainly supportive of that, and thank you for coming here. We were very much, we were the first town to outlaw, marijuana, and we also had a big vaping case with that entity. And we won in federal court. They brought a state court action, and that's still pending, but we're very confident we'll win that as well.
Right.
But that's just regarding marijuana and vaping products. I think what you're describing is something other than that. And, we have been on top of it. And, we have to get undercover people in. We have to do all that kind of stuff. We have had issues with them in the past, criminal conduct and all kinds of issues. We've been working, against them. Also, the other problem that we have is that, and you hit it right on the head, I think the state, in its infinite wisdom, declared that, well, let's open up all these shops everywhere, right? But, not thinking everyone's going to go rogue on them. And they have 9 officers for the entire state to police up thousands of these locations. So, when they come in, that's good. I'm glad you're soliciting them, because they have the power of assessing sales tax fines and violations and keep them off the eventual list that people seek to get on.
Right.
We're a couple of pegs below the state enforcement level, but we're still working on it.
Right.
And there are other locations in town that we are being very aggressive toward. So you have our pledge that we're going to do that and continue moving in that direction, not necessarily but here, but everywhere, wherever we see there's a problem, wherever there's a complaint. And we got your back, and we're certainly going to continue doing that. I've discussed this with the chief. We've discussed this amongst ourselves, and we're going to go full forward.
And again, anything I can do, whatever, if you need petitions, if you need people, I will get it done.
So thank you,
because this is very close to my heart, and I want to get it out of our town. We deserve so much better, and I'm not going to let that one place or any place destroy us like this, because it's not good for our future. It's not good for our children. It's not good for anything. It's one stupid business that should not deserve to be in a town like Eastchester. We are too good for that.
Well said. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Liz.
Anyone else? Sure, come on.
Thomas O'Leary, 96 Fairway Drive. On that issue, Mr. Calavita, I'm just wondering, I know you stated that before, but I'm just trying to take notes. What is being done in that regard to stop the crisis?
Well, first, there are many prongs to the fork. The first is the state level, because the state has enforcement power and ability to indict for supplying drugs illegally, or drugs that are banned or are harmful or not in accordance with whatever standards they have on a state level, right? And they can punish people via criminal prosecution, the infliction of sales tax fees and charges with penalties and interest, which is very painful. If you ask anyone who has a sales tax issue in their life, it's not a pleasant thing to go through, okay? Secondly, we have been prosecuting as we have sent, and I don't want to be disclosing all that we do, but we have had undercover people at that location and others, and we'll continue to do that. And, it's particular to minors, because if you're 21 years old, a lot of things you can purchase that are, that are legal if you're 21, but not if you're less than 21. So that's what our focus is. And we have officers that we queue up that go in, sometimes in different municipalities and all. And we have also the ability, if there's a violation there, a criminal violation, to attack the certificate of occupancy. That's the permission that you get from a municipal government to occupy a space for retail sales or, whatever other subject. There's a lot of different uses in the town. But we have the ability to rescind certificates of occupancy if there is criminal conduct at that location. And if there is something happening there that's against our local laws, against county laws, or against state laws. So that's the bag of tools that we have to employ here. But, you know, it's important. These are substantial, these aren't just quality of life issues, these are health issues. These are issues where young people are getting injured, and we can't have that, you know. Vaping is one thing, marijuana is another, but other products that are just some hybrid of some funky compound, not good.
And off that, how can young people help with this issue, considering that it's, you know, affecting them as buying these products?
Well, the key thing is just the boycott. Just don't go there. Don't give them the business. If, you know, if they die on the vine, they go away. You know, if people aren't going in there to support them, then business goes down, and it's, you know, that's what happens. You know, not that we don't want to hurt our retail sales in the town, but that's a bit of an exception. So that is certainly a very useful tool. You know, the power of the purse is very effective.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Anyone else? All right, there being no one else, so I guess we'll make a motion to adjourn. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Okay, see you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.